My name is Joe Villegas, and I'll be explaining today why I think student athletes should be paid for playing sports. Athletes today go to school to get ahead in life, but many of them come from poor families and can barely afford to make it, even with scholarships and grants being provided. During this speech, I'll be explaining why athletes being paid would cut down on lawsuits against the NCAA from former athletes, help the athletes with tuition for an education, and how it will benefit the schools to pay the players. The NCAA is currently under scrutiny for making money under players' names and images, and not paying the players any kind of stipend. Currently, the NCAA is under lawsuit due to the fact they currently use players' images on things such as video games, jerseys, photos, ticket sales, and at games and television broadcasts for profit, but still refuse to pay the athletes. Athletes feel that although their names are not being used for profit, images alone are worth some kind of compensation. Other ongoing lawsuits that are currently going on are due to players taking all the risks such as concussions and bodily injuries, yet no compensation. According to ESPN.com, September 28, 2013, the NCAA will end up paying around $40 million in lawsuits to former players just for their usage in video games alone. This kind of money could have been used to help pay athletes for financial responsibilities such as tuition, groceries, or room and board for off-campus students. Although paying players will not eliminate all lawsuits, it surely would cut down on them. Now that we have talked about some liabilities that the NCAA is facing due to not paying college athletes, let us talk about how paying athletes can benefit them. The average cost of an education in a four-year public university in 2011 to 2012, the cost was $23,200 and $43,500 for a private non-profit university. But the average net price, sticker minus scholarships and aid, was about $14,300 for a public and $23,000 for a private school, stated by the article How Much Did College Costs Increase After Recession by Douglas Belkin, December 3, 2013. Even though room and board is covered while playing sports, scholarships and grants alone do not cover all costs when attending school. This fact indeed puts some players who are already growing up in poverty into a financial bind. Most people would say, well, why don't these players just go out and get jobs? Well, stated in the article Why College Athletes Should Be Paid by Julian Sony, September 5th, the NCAA does not allow student athletes to get jobs or to make money because they do not want the students to cash in on their performances or on any form or fashion. So if students are not allowed to get even part-time jobs, wouldn't paying student athletes help pay for some financial burdens and allow students to focus more on their education? There have been players who have been under watch because they tend to take money from boosters and take some sort of payment for playing for the colleges they are attending. Well, with the situation they are being placed in due to the policies of the NCAA, they are forced to make ends meet one way or another. Not paying athletes puts them in a no-win situation, and they are forced to risk their players' eligibility status and education in jeopardy. They'll argue that the athletes are already offered steep scholarships to help pay for things. Scholarship is not currency and will not help pay for the little things. The average fair market value of a top-tier college football and men's basketball player is over $100,000 each, stated by the Chicago Sun-Times, Frederick J. Fremier, September 13, 2011. Paying athletes is the only solution to giving them what they rightfully deserve. So I have just explained how athletes can benefit from being paid. Let's review on how much school benefits from student athletes. On an average, each FBS team earned $15.8 million last year, or well over $1 million per game. Stated by CNN Money, Chris Isidore, December 29, 2010. Without athletes, this kind of gain would not be possible. Although $15.8 million may not seem much, programs like these help bring quality students into schools and help set up funding and donations from big-time boosters. Not only that, but the money generated off the television rights and bowl games and tournaments help generate extra revenue. With all this money being made for the universities, I think athletes should get a piece of the pie for all their hard work. I know for one thing, some of the people getting their share of the wealth are indeed the coaches. $53.4 million was the payout in 2011 to the highest paid coaches in football alone, stated by Let's Start Paying College Athletes by Joe Nocera, December 30, 2011. This is not even including other sports. If money can be spent on the well-being of coaches, I think universities should fork over some type of payment or even insurance for their athletes. These young athletes put their bodies on the line day in and day out, week after week, month after month for the well-being of the university. In closing, though paying athletes is not even on the table as for now, Paying them for the sake of lawsuits, financial stability, and benefits for the university is a win-win for both the university and the sake of the players. Thank you.